Snizzity Snap, baby. We're back. So, first things first, got to apologize. No podcast last week. And I've been going round and round with toying with the idea. I know I brought it up on the last podcast that I did. I was going to have something new, a secondary podcast where it's going to be something different. Scrap that. Decided not to do that. Look, everybody. I don't know what I'm doing all the time. Sometimes I do stuff and I think I want to do certain things and I change my mind. So what it came down to was I wanted to be able to mix up a few different things, maybe not related to the motivational side of things. And really, after discussing it with my wife and some friends, what I came to the conclusion of, I keep the podcast the way it is. And some days it may not be a traditional motivational type conversation with somebody, one of my guests, or maybe some of the topic that I'm talking about, something very specific to being maybe necessarily motivational. It might be a little bit off topic, and it doesn't always have to be that way. So each week I will announce what's going on, what the topic is, and kind of the message behind it. So this week, keeping along with the that kind of a theme, is finding motivation in all things, right? I talked about this before, keeping your eyes open and finding ways to get motivated by different people, even if it seems like maybe like a negative thing, how to stay motivated. And so kind of along the same lines, and really for everybody who knows me knows I have, I have a very silly, goofy side, if you want to call it. I joke around a lot. I have a very sarcastic sense of humor. So those are the kind of things that make me laugh. And sometimes I throw those things in. And quite honestly, sometimes I use them. I use that kind of sense of humor, silliness that I have. And I use it in motivational ways. But ultimately, the message and what I try really hard, especially nowadays, not to do, I don't take myself too seriously. And what I mean by that is I see the world, I guess, through different eyes than I always thought I would growing up. When I was a kid and even into my teenage years and even going into my early 20s, I always thought, hey, you reach a certain age and it's time to grow up. It's time to be an adult. Time to, you pay your bills, you pay your taxes, you do adult things and sure, do all those things. But it doesn't mean we can't have fun. It doesn't mean we can't be silly and, kind of entertain the child in all of us. And a lot of us, I think, lose that along the way. And not only do I try really hard not to do that, my personality just doesn't allow it. There's times I even think, I'm sitting at work or I'm at home and, maybe we're looking at all the things to get done for the day and errands I got to run and stuff. And I start thinking, I can't believe they let me drive. I can't believe they pay me. Like who in their right mind would pay me to do anything? I'm a big kid. I still laugh at fart jokes and butt jokes and just silliness. I mean, some of the best times that I have, it's hanging out with my family, my kids, and we're cracking up laughing over the dumbest stuff. It's just ultimate, just crazy silliness, to the nth degree. And I'll stop and I'll think for a second as I'm laughing at this, dumb commercial or something that I found real stupid, or maybe something somebody said to me. I'm thinking, I'm in charge of other people. I'm responsible for a big portion of my company's business, and they pay me a very good amount of money. Why? I'm a big, goofy, nerdy kid. This is the craziest thing to me. And I tend to use that to my advantage, I think, in a lot of ways, even at work. I'm in sales, and a big part of sales for me, the way I view sales, and obviously people view things differently, maybe. I used to think it was this buttoned up, wearing a suit or a shirt and tie, in slacks and nice shiny shoes and walk into an office with your briefcase like you got everything together and you got all the answers and you got everything figured out. And that's why people would want to give you their business. And now what I've come to realize, and my way of being a salesperson is just being a human being, being relatable, and letting people know that I'm good at what I do, that my company, we're really good at what we do, and they like me and they trust me because I do answer their questions. And even if I don't have all the answers right away, I'll go get them, and I let them know that I'm concerned and that I care about what they have to say and what their concerns are. So I'm going to do everything I can to make everything go as smoothly as possible. And I think they feel that from me. And I laugh with them. We joke around. We talk about whatever it is maybe we have as common interests. Sometimes it's golf. Sometimes it's wine or it's whiskey. So it makes me sound like an alcoholic, right? But it could be anything. It could be our kids. It could be the type of furniture they have. It could be maybe their background, if it's something that I relate to with the way I grew up. Maybe they were military, things like that. And it's, we have this very quick bond that I'm able to create. And not because I'm so buttoned up and I got all the answers and I look the part. Sure, I dress professional. Sure, I want to make sure that they're comfortable with me as someone who's going to handle and they're going to hand over, lots of money to take care of them. So, but I think it's just relating to them, and they hear it in my voice, they hear it in my tone, and through the conversations that we have and the stories that we share. I mean, there's times where sometimes it only takes 10, 15 minutes, when I go out and I do estimates for them. Sometimes I'm there for an hour or longer because we have so much to talk about and they feel so comfortable with me. And that's what it's really about. And it's not because I'm buttoned up. It's definitely not that. I mean, I can be if I need to be, but my personality, I don't take myself too seriously. Like I said, I'm there for a job. I know that our company is very good at what we do, so it's easy I don't have to sell anything. Sure, I go over features, benefits, or attributes, all those things, but I'm really selling, in a sense, me. And I really believe that, and I've been told this by my clients, is we like you. We want to do business with you. Yeah, your company sounds great. Sounds like you guys know what you're doing and you got it all under control and you guys do great work, but we like you. And to me, that's what sales is all about. People want to do business with people they like. I mean, that makes sense. I'm that way. Someone comes to the house and they're giving me bids on something, whether it's landscaping or, repair jobs or things like that. I want to deal with someone that I trust and somebody that I like. That's it. I mean, it's a pretty simple thing. And I don't like people who take themselves too seriously in any facet. I mean, whether I'm going to do business with them, whether they're in my life in any way, shape, or form, friends, I mean, you name it, colleagues, coworkers, anybody. And I think it's kind of a turnoff when someone, kind of comes across like they got it all figured out, even if they do. I mean, even if they're a super genius and they got all the answers and they got it just the whole world at their fingertips. I mean, we all do, right? With our cell phones, let's be honest. But anyway, it's not, to me, it's not a very redeeming quality. But when I meet other people that are like-minded and don't take themselves too seriously, and they could be a doctor, a lawyer, it could be any kind of profession, right? A CPA, anything that you would typically think of as this buttoned up person. The ones that don't have a good, obviously this is subjective, but a good personality for me, somebody that I can click with and I can feel comfortable with, it's just not for me. And when I meet these people, I draw motivation from them, and I'll see maybe a certain kind of attribute that they have or a way that they have to deal with people. the way that I see they make people feel, where people just want to be around them, right? We call that charisma and things like that. And sure, it's some of it's those things, but I think a lot of it too is just they're very aware. They're aware of who they are. They're aware of their effect on people. They're aware of what they have to offer. And it could just be a helping hand. It could be words of advice or whatever it is. But they're just very conscious of that, and they don't act like they got it all figured out. Because a lot of times they'll say, "I don't know," or they'll maybe I bring up a point or someone else brings up a point to them, and they're just kind of like, yeah, that's an interesting way of looking at of things. I never really thought about it that way, and they're really honest, and they're just kind of an open personality, and those seem to be the ones that I kind of really I enjoy the most, I should say. So yeah, that's for me, it's kind of the underlying message. But really, I mean, I think for me, I work really hard at really understanding who I am, what my skill set is, and what do I have to offer people, and then in turn, where that I'm lacking, and I'm lacking in so many places. And I don't say that just to be self-deprecating. I mean, there are so many things in this world, so many topics and interesting ways of viewing the world that it's too much. It's too much for any one person to really know, and I'm very, very aware and conscious of that. So the things that I don't know, I make a big point to let people know this is not my area of expertise. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So I'm just giving maybe my opinion, my very, very limited scope of an opinion based off of my experience and my little bit of knowledge that I may have on any given subject. And that's all it is. It's just it's an opinion, because I don't have any expertise. I don't have really any solid background or experience in this area. So this is what I think, but hey, what do I really know? And the more I get and learn from other people that really do know, who have studied or maybe lived through a very, very, very a specific experience that kind of makes them more of an expert in this area. And even them, right? I mean, they're an expert for the amount of experience that they have, but who knows what other ways of viewing the world, or other ways of just living, just experiencing things. I mean, that's and I guess kind of in a roundabout way, kind of why we're all here. We're all here to live life, and I believe I'm here to live the best life that I can live, and that doesn't have to measure up to anybody's expectations or weigh against anybody else's life at all. It doesn't matter. I want to do the things that I want to do and enjoy life the best that I can for me, for my loved ones, and the people around me. That's what I want. And all of us, it's very, very different. And if we get wrapped up in the seriousness of it all, and it's easy to do, especially, you become an adult, probably, when you get around 30 years old, people start to ask questions if you're going to get serious about life. If you're not, maybe if you're not on the perfect path that people think you should be on. And I mean, on one hand, I get it. I have, when I look at my kids, my boys, it's like, you want the best for them, but we don't ever really define what that means. What's the best? Is it the best of what we think? And as a parent, I think we always feel like we want them to be healthy. We want them to prosper. We want them for them to have a good, wonderful family, good friends and people in their life, enriched life. So we have this preconceived notion of what we think a full life would be. But just like we don't want our parents and or teachers or bosses or anybody telling us what the perfect life is, we can't tell them that either. Maybe for them, a good life is not knowing where the next paycheck is coming from, or taking bigger chances with their life, and in a sense of becoming an artist, or in whatever area that is, or maybe it's traveling around the world and seeing everything before getting a real solid, stable job. And we have to be open to that, I think, because I wouldn't want, my path was far from a traditional path to get to where I am. I'm very fortunate. I have a very, very nice job and at a great company, and I was able to work my way up and all these great things. But first of all, I would never have picked the industry that I'm in, back when I was 18 years old. I don't even think I really picked sales as my career. I just kind of fell into it. It happens to match my personality, which is great. But I mean, this wasn't a perfect path to get to where I am. I tried. I thought I knew. You know what I used to do? I used to tell people, so I was going to go to college, and I did. I went to college for 1 year, and I would tell people what I thought they wanted to hear, and quite honestly, I think it's what I thought I wanted at the time. Where I would tell people, they would always ask, so where are you going to college? And I would tell them, University of Nebraska, and that's where I went. I got accepted there. I applied and got accepted. That was the one school I applied to. You want to know that's the one school I applied to? I was a big Nebraska fan. So I went to high school out there. So we had residency. So it made sense for me to go there. I had a lot of friends that were going there. But also, I was lazy. I was a lazy, lazy kid, man. I mean, when it came to, anything that I didn't have to do, I didn't want to do it. And a lot of times I didn't do it. So my parents kept telling me, you got to fill out college applications. You got to fill out college applications. So I filled out one college application. I intended to fill out more. I really did. But I knew I wanted to go there, and I didn't really have a backup plan. If they didn't accept me, I guess I would fill out another one, is what I thought at the time. I couldn't even really tell you, because I just kind of figured, well, this is where I'm going. Like I said in the paperwork, I'm like, this is where I'm going. So that's it. The end. I'm going there. So luckily they accepted me. I go there, and people would ask me, what are you majoring in? And I had the perfect answer all figured out already. And it's really what I thought I wanted to do. I said, I'm going to major in international business. And then people would always ask, what was the second question, right? What are you going to minor in? Which now, I look back now, I mean, it's almost like these are canned questions as human beings, as adults, that were programmed to ask, these young adults that are coming up. What are you going to do when you grow up? Where are you going to go? Are you going to go into the military? Are you going to go to college? Are you going to go to a trade school, right? I mean, if that's what you want to do, if it's one of these very traditional paths, I guess, if it's for you, then great. That's perfect. Then you have a very specific path. You know exactly what you got to do to get there. There's very specific steps you got to do, and head on that path. Great. You want to be a certain kind of doctor. Boom, 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 go, right? But other than that, man, I mean, this kind of pressure we put on kids nowadays, or throughout history. What are you going to do, kid? What are you going to do when you grow up? And so, what are you going to major in, Eric? International business. What are you going to minor in? And I had an answer at first, and I don't remember what the minor was at first. And then I remember I came up with this perfect answer. It was the perfect answer. It sounds stupid now. I look back. I'm like, who is that? Slap that kid in the head. Who? Like, what kind of answer is this? I almost don't even want to say it out loud. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it. So they would say, I said, I got this figured out. Here we go. I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait for someone to ask me. I was almost want to just talk to them. I'm going to college. Anybody have any questions for me? So people meet somebody or talk to somebody, and you got accepted to the University of Nebraska. I heard. Yes, I did. I just couldn't wait. The questions, I knew it was coming. I'm like, I just can't wait. It's going to taste so good when I give them this answer. And first question, what are you majoring in? I'm majoring in international business, right? Like there's an American flag waving behind me, right? All perfect answer. Dun, 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 international business. Then, as business is coming out, right? I could feel the endorphins and the serotonin releasing in my brain, just waiting because it's going to feel so good. And they said, well, what are you going to minor in? Do you know? And I said, yes, I'm going to minor in Chinese. And why do you ask? Because their face would all of a sudden become a little bit puzzled, like, Chinese? Well, Eric, why Chinese? I've already thought that through as well. I have the perfect answer. I couldn't wait to say this as well. It was right on my lips. It tastes so good. I said, well, you know, a lot of industry is moving to China. This is back in the 90s, right? This is 94, 95. Well, you know, a lot of industry is moving to China. So I'm going to be prepared and ahead of the game. And I'm going to learn Chinese. So as an international business major, I will already not only have the perfect degree, but I will speak the language of the country we're going to be dealing with the most. I mean, that makes perfect sense, right? I mean, this 17-year-old kid, I graduated high school when I was 17. This 17-year-old kid has got this all figured out. I'm a genius. I'm thinking ahead of the game. I can see how the industry is going to go, and I'm going to intercept right in the middle of it, and I'm going to be ready. Now, aren't you, person asking me these questions, aren't you impressed? Are you not entertained? Doesn't that sound stupid? Okay. I know one word in Chinese. I know the same word, and I believe, and if I'm wrong, if someone can speak Chinese and wants to correct me, please do, because I need to feel a little bit more embarrassed after that stupid answer. I know the same word, thank you, in I believe it's Cantonese and Mandarin, and I don't know which one is which, but it's ngoi and xie. That's the only Chinese word I know. And I look back and I think about it sometimes. Every time I think about it, I laugh. I'm in my car sometimes or whatever, taking a shower, and I think about like, Chinese. International business, you fool. Come on, man. Come on. Like if I could look at myself right now and look at my, if I could go back in time, right, go in the DeLorean, 88 miles per hour. If you don't know the references, shame on you. And I go back in time and I see myself and I could I'm a different person, and I say, oh, hey, nice to meet you, Eric. Oh, you're going to college? What are you majoring in? And before the words international business come out, right, just smack myself right in the head and go, that's some bullshit. You're not going to do any of this stuff. It's too hard. There's too much information, too much studying. Stop with your nonsense. Get back in my car and fly back off to 2019, because it's such a ridiculous answer. But after I laugh, every time I think about it, I think I don't want to do this to my kids. I don't want, and I hate it when I see it in other kids. I mean, I'll meet kids and I'll meet, we're friends with other parents and stuff or whatever. And you meet people and our son's going to do this and our daughter's going to do that. And I'm thinking, well, they're 12 years old or whether they're 16 years old, and you can even see it on the kid's face. They're kind of like, no, I guess this is what I'm doing. And I know this is kind of a topic shift from where I started. Overall, I'm talking about don't take yourself too seriously. And this goes for whether you're a young kid, a young adult, and even into our adult age. Guess what? When I'm 90, I'm still going to be talking like this. I'm going to be the same guy. I'm going to be dancing. And you know what else I'm going to do? I'm still going to be listening to boy band music. How about that? Because I like it. And you can call me whatever you want. Call me a name. I don't care. I like the music. Anyway, you can see it in these kids' face with that, this is not what I want to be doing. I want to be a race car driver. I want to be doing something else. And but we do this. We do this as adults, and I put it in quotes because look, I mean, sure, if you reach a certain age and you're responsible for your bills, you're responsible for yourself and for others, if it's your kids or whoever, and you got to go to work, you got to do all of these things. We got to do these things to live, but live in what capacity? It's different for everybody. It doesn't have to fit a certain mold, a certain path. There's people that find their way later in life versus earlier in their life. And it's because they don't take themselves too seriously. And I get a lot of motivation from that because, look, I chose a path that worked for me. It worked for my personality, and I found my way. Now, did it have to go that way? No, it could have went really, really wrong. I could have ended up in some really low-paying job and not have any kind of career or any kind of future. But I'm not. So I went to college for 1 year. 1 year of college. That's all I lasted because nobody makes you go to class, right? That's what I tell anybody who goes to college. I tell them, here's going to be the hardest part: going to class and doing the work, because nobody makes you do it. Not like at home, your parents make you do it. Okay, they stay on you, they're riding you the whole time. It's like, fine, get off my back, I'll do my homework. But nobody makes you go. Right? There's all these other distractions. You know, you can go walk around. You can go to the student center. You can go. I played pool down in the little. We had a little game room area in the dorm. There's so many other distractions. You don't have to go. I mean, they'll just flunk you, which is what happened to me. And so then, after my 1 year of college, I figured college wasn't for me, and it really wasn't. And I had to go out and make my way in the world. I didn't know what that was going to be like. My first job, full-time job after flunking out of college was, and let me get something straight too. When I actually buckled down and did the work in college, it wasn't hard. It wasn't like the work was so hard. That's why I flunked out. I just didn't go, and I didn't do the work. Anyway, so my first job, full-time job, man, I was a security guard. And I'm not talking like I was able to carry a gun, highly trained, assassin, security guard for, almost one step below the Secret Service. I'm talking, they would put me at I worked for a security company, right? Pinkerton Security, very well known, but I was not highly trained in any facet. I was a glorified babysitter on different properties. That's what it was. So that was my first job. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know where I was going to end up. I definitely didn't think I was going to end up here. And that's okay, because everything along the way, I had good mentors through all the different jobs that I had. I learned a lot. I learned the one thing I did have over and above even most of my my peers and even a lot of my bosses. And the reason why I was able to move up in different companies was I had a really good work ethic. I had a very, very strong mother who came from a big, big family. So they were taught very, very strong work ethic. And my dad being military, same thing, very strong work ethic. Both of my parents are probably two of the hardest working people I know. And anytime I ever had to complain about cleaning my room or any work I had to do, they let me know what real hard work was. And so I'm very fortunate, very blessed to have that in my life, because that's what helped get me along the way. Plus all the teachings that I had really helped me be able to, when I did have good mentors, to take them seriously and learn from them. So, but I always knew that I didn't want to be the kind of adult. I'm going to keep doing that, by the way. I didn't want to be the kind of adult that was this kind of like hard-nosed, regimented person that once you reach this age, now this is your life from now on. I mean, when we go to GameWorks, we go to amusement parks, we go to the water parks. Dude, I'm a big kid again. I turn into a big kid. I want to ride all the rides except the spinning ones, because I'll throw up, because I'm, a big baby when it comes to those things. My stomach can't handle it. But the roller coasters and all the big stuff, I love all that stuff. And I want to hit all the rides. I'm a kid. I don't sit there and just say, well, I want to make sure all the kids, I want the kids to have fun, but I want to have fun too. Like, don't ruin my time. Okay. I'm gonna have fun. I don't want to stop. I stop for a few times to eat, refuel, and get back on those rides, man. I don't play. So it's I don't take myself too seriously. Are there times that I'm serious? Sure. But I go through life enjoying all of it. I laugh, I'm goofball, I'm sarcastic, I cut up with my friends, we're talking shit back and forth to each other, and it's fun. I want to have fun. I want to live life. I want to enjoy all of it. I never want to look back and think, well, I was a serious person, and I paid my bills, and I paid my taxes, and I raised my kids, and that's it. And I went to work, and I was reliable, and and that's what I did in life. And look, if that's your personality and that's what you want to do in life, then that's great. That's for you. Perfect. I'm not saying don't do that. If that's you, do it. Do you. Okay. But for me, that's just not going to fit. It doesn't fit me. I'm not that kind of person. No matter what. I mean, even if I was, I'm in charge of all sales and marketing for my company, right? I'm the number one guy behind the owners in my company. Now, we're not not like we're $1 billion company, but still, we're a multi-million-dollar company, and I'm in charge of all this. And there's a time to be serious. There's a time when I had a meeting today, went over sales techniques, went over how to grow as a company, all the different things we need to do to service our clients better, right? All these things. I was very serious in the meeting. But then 5 minutes later, we're all laughing, cutting up, talking about stories and different things, and just having a good time. That's the life I want to live, and I'm always going to do it. And the age thing, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how old I am. That has nothing to do with whether I'm serious or I'm goofy or I'm silly. I'm going to be a silly-ass 95-year-old. I'm going to be a silly-ass 110-year-old, as long as I don't get hit by a meteor or something, because I'm going to live healthy. I'm going to stay active. I'm going to be engaged in my health all the time. So, there's a time. There's a time to be serious. But for the most part, man, I'm going to have fun. I'm going to have so much fun. It's going to be, to me, that's the only thing. That's what life's about. Yeah, I'm going to be serious sometimes with my kids, and they come to me with certain things, or if I have to be, hold them accountable for different behaviors. Sure. There's a time for that. Absolutely. And guess what? After those lessons are done, 5 minutes later, we're going to be playing Mario Kart, talking shit, having a good time, laughing, high-fiving, cracking up. Because that's everything to me. That's what this is all about. I'm not going to go around this world for however many years I got and ever look back and think, man, I should have done this. I should have lived it up more. I shouldn't have been so hard on this. I shouldn't have, whatever. No regrets. I'm not doing that. So if you're like me and you like to have fun, and I see you guys out there, I see people all the time when I go to lunch, one of my favorite spots, Greens and Proteins. Shout out to Greens and Proteins. Boom. Healthy food. So delicious. I love it. Anyway, I go there and they're right outside of this business park. So all these people come in their suits and their nice business attire. And there's people that come in and they're laughing, they're giggling and having fun and being silly. And then there's people that come in and you can see they're still in that kind of work mode. And it's almost like they can't let themselves have too much fun. And because of maybe the clothes that they're wearing, all buttoned up, and I keep doing this, right? All buttoned up, they're, even during their lunch hour, they're not allowing themselves to have fun, to cut loose a little bit and just let it all out. And I think we should. If it's your personality and if it's what you want to do, then I think you should be doing it. And sometimes I'll interact with people and I can see or feel that they're kind of being a little uptight or a little bit conservative. And I'll make a joke. I'll say something silly or funny or goofy, and they'll crack a smile or laugh, and I see them kind of let loose a little bit. And I like that. I like having that effect on people. I like seeing people finally, or maybe just coming out of their shell and just enjoying that moment, even if it's just that moment. And maybe they take it with them the whole day, and if they do, great. But we got to enjoy all this. I mean, what else are we doing here? Have fun with your kids. Yeah, we want to raise them right. We want them to be good human beings and be ready for the future when they get older. But jamming something down their throat isn't the way, I don't think. You know, we got to teach them manners, teach them responsibility, teach them all these things. We know what we got to do as parents, and everybody's different. But let's have fun with them. Have fun. Be silly, right? I mean, when we watch TV, we talk so much smack. When we play games, we talk all kinds of smack. You know, we're competitive. We have fun. It's some of the most fun I have. I mean, of all time. And sometimes we laugh at stuff that later on I'll try to explain to somebody else, and it's not very funny when I'm explaining it, but in the moment, it's so much fun. I'm laughing, I'm crying, my sides hurt, I'm doubled over. Sometimes I can't even breathe. I'm laughing so hard with my boys, and it's so much fun. I can't think of anything that's as fun. And I do a lot of fun stuff. Jiu-jitsu, so much fun. All that. A lot of things I do is a lot of fun. But that has to be probably my favorite of all time. When we're just all cracking up, crying and laughing. Hungover. One of my boys, he's begging and pleading, stop saying it. I'm going to pee my pants. Stop saying it. And that makes me laugh harder. It's the best thing. Don't take yourself too seriously. Because at the end of the day, we're all people. And we're all here to just do what we do and live the best life we can. So I hope that message came through. I know I veered off the topic a little bit and told a few other stories, but it all kind of ties in, at least in my head. I know my brain works kind of strange, but that's just the way it is. So I hope you guys get the message. I hope you enjoy the message. Don't take yourself too seriously. And if you see me out there and I'm being goofy and I'm being funny, come on over and join the club. It's a lot of fun. So, yeah, that's what I got going on. I have another message. I'll save that one for next week. I think it's a good one, but it's a whole nother topic. So next week, got that one. I got some guests coming up. It's going to be awesome. We're going to talk about all kinds of cool stuff, find out where they're from, what they got going on, what brought them to where they are today. I love hearing these stories and I love sharing these stories with everybody. So get ready. We got some cool guests. That's all I got for this week. And next week, we got more cool stuff. I might have a couple podcasts in 1 week, depending on what guests I have and what the timing works out to be. But I'll keep you all posted because that's what I do. And I appreciate all you guys for listening and for watching. I apologize once again, just like I talked about in the beginning, that last week there was nothing and I had this big announcement, but I kept going back and forth. And I just want this thing to be right. And at the end of the day, I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. I'm just doing it because it's fun and I like it. So I'm going to keep making mistakes. I hope you guys forgive me and you keep watching and keep spreading the message, keep sharing with friends, keep telling other people about it and, like it. I see some likes coming up on last few podcasts. It's been great. Thank you so much. And I just want to put out good content and hopefully help people because at the end of the day, that's what I want. I want to have this community and spread a community of people of love, hugs, helping people, and all of us just living the best life. That's what I keep talking about. So that's what we're doing. Don't take yourself too seriously. Have fun, laugh, enjoy. It's all good. Thank you for watching. See you guys next week. This is Motivate with EY. Talk to you soon.